We also really stand by the adage that we teach through the clarity and the unclarity of our example, that we really are modern day leading edge teachers, that everything we offer is based on our own lived experience. It's based on us being the explorers and the experimenters in our own life, fully engaging in it, living in it, testing things, discovering things, fine-tuning things, and just really, that's what lights us up. It's so fun to do. And in fact, the basis of the Wright Robinson Institute, if you hadn't already read, was the coming together of Frank and I, that we came together sort of not expectingly. Seriously, we were both sort of so full of ourselves, so in love with ourselves, that we weren't really in a place of looking for a relationship. I mean, I knew that one was going to come. I didn't know exactly when or what it was going to look like, but I knew that it would sometime be a part of my life, but I wasn't exactly expecting it at that particular point. But we were both so in love with ourselves that it was just the next logical step for both of us. And as we started to hang out together and spend some time together, I thought it would be really fun because I was already playing with this idea of unconditionality. I loved myself full. I felt deliriously, intoxicatingly in love with myself. So now what? And I wanted to take this idea of unconditionality, that idea that I focus solely on my alignment, that is the most important thing, that I take 100% responsibility for how I feel. I recognize that it's not about the conditions or the circumstances that surround me, because how I feel, my happiness, is an inside job. It comes from inside of me. And so in being unconditional, what was the shift that was being called for within me when I experienced an out of alignment moment or some contrast took me to a new place? That's where I was coming from. And so after Frank and I started to spend some time together and really enjoy that, I said to him, hey, I'm curious if you want to take this relationship idea to a new place. Like, what if we decided to blaze a new trail and do a relationship different, kind of a leading edge relationship based on unconditionality? And he thought it sounded cool. And so for the last 18 months, that's what we've been doing, is living together in this experience, this sort of little experiment of unconditionality, where we don't fight, we don't have conversations about what needs to be different with each other. We just have fun. It's just so much fun. I get to be the fullness of who I am in any given moment and invite him to be the same. And it's just delicious. It feels like the manifested experience of the relationship that I have with myself playing out loud with him. How fun. It just is so fun. And one night we were having a conversation about, we don't really spend a lot of time talking about much of our previous life. That's just another version of ourselves. But we had this moment of just talking about the evolution of how we'd sort of come to this place to be in this relationship, and the recognition that we'd both been in relationships that had aspects that weren't our preference, which is obviously where we shot off our rockets of what we really wanted, and also that we had sort of settled, that there were relationships that felt to us like they were pretty good, but we knew that we'd settled. We didn't really believe that we could get everything we wanted, so we thought, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 was good enough. And this now understanding that we're selling ourselves short by believing that we need to settle, and just that we want to sort of stand on a mountaintop and say, hey, you don't ever need to settle, because that relationship that is everything that you've ever wanted, seriously, every little detail that you don't even know you want can show up in a relationship if you believe that it's possible. And so we just want to be that sort of beacon that says to everybody, don't settle. Hold to the biggest vision of you. And it's about you getting into the vibration that matches that big vision. And that's one of the things that we want to help you with.